Так, wait, I need to check. Am I recording? Okay. Okay, guys, I'm actually finally recording this podcast. I like the setup. I'm recording on my laptop as well. So I'm finally here and so excited. Welcome to the first episode of my podcast called Following Fariza. First of all, please appreciate the name, the FF thing. I think that's pretty amazing and like so creative. But anyway, welcome to the first episode of my podcast. I've been planning to do it for a long time now, but I always had reason to procrastinate, to postpone, whatever. But it's 2023, baby. I decided so that's time to actually make all the things that I wanted to create like actually tangible and to introduce it to you guys. So anyway, if you listen to this podcast and you happen not to be my friend and like actually be interested in this episode, I welcome you. And let me give you a little bit of the background, like who am I? So my name is Fariza, but if you speak English, you will probably end up calling me Fariza, because that's how English speakers always end up calling me. And at this point, I think that's okay. I kind of love it as well. So both versions are okay. Well, actually, I don't know. Like I will decide along the way, because I've been here for how long? 7 years? 7 years now, and I don't know which version I love more, you know what I mean? Like, we'll see. But anyway, my name is Fariza. I'm originally from Kazakhstan, and I came to the UK, like I'm currently in London. I came to the UK 7 years ago to study in the university. So I have a background in maths, and then I studied masters, and I have a master's in management from a business school. So I'm very educated person at this point. But anyway, I was telling you guys about myself. So I have a background in maths, and I have a background in business school, and now I work in a big corporation here in London. So I work in the city. But also, I'm a 25 years old girl who feel like her life is changing so much right now. And I feel like this is such an interesting age when you finish your school, you finish your studies. And for the person who came from abroad, who moved countries, it feels like everything you dreamed of, like you already accomplished, right? So I wanted to go to the university, I wanted to get my master's, I wanted to get like the best, most prestigious job ever, and I got it. And when I got it, like I was so lost, guys. I was so lost for honestly like quite a considerable amount of time, because I realized that I didn't really have a plan afterwards, you know, because I guess if you go to the university in the same country you grew up in, right, or like in the same area, whatever, it's kind of a part of the plan, right? But like when you come from the abroad, it's such a big thing to learn the language and then to perform to the highest level and then get amazing grades and like all of this jazz, and be the best and compete for the jobs and get a job and like apply for visa and all this stuff. And like that's a lot, and that's a big goal and accomplishment in itself. So for a long time, for many years, my life was consumed by this goal, right? And now I accomplished that, and I'm super happy and super grateful to be at this point of my life. But then you get it, and then like that's weird, because you don't have this big goal anymore, and you don't know where you're moving, you don't know what you're doing, you just wake up, go for work, but like what are you supposed to crave for? Like promotions, more money, more whatever, I don't know. Like, so I don't think that's the whole purpose of life, even though like disclaimer, I love my job, right? Like it's very good place to be. But after getting all of this stuff, I just realized that I need a new goal in my life, and I realized that I actually had these goals and dreams, but I paused them for a moment because I had to focus on something like closer, something more tangible, something in front of me, um, and be effective and be focused, right? And I had to like get rid of all the obstacles and all the distractions in my life, and I did it ruthlessly. So when I was in school, I easily cut all of my extracurricular activities if I didn't have time for them. So I gave up dancing, I gave up playing piano because I had to do so much more apart from that, academically and socially. So I just said, you know what, like that's not serving me right now, that's not bringing me to my goal, which was to go to this particular country, to get to a particular university, etc., etc. So I paused all of them, and I paused on a lot of the things that I wanted to do before, because my mindset was, you know what, like I'm just gonna work hard right now, and because like the goal that I have right now, the tangible goal to go to university, to get a job, to move to the country, it will actually allow me to build this platform and like these foundations that will allow me to achieve all my other goals, all of my other dreams, that seems so unachievable when you're just a little girl in Kazakhstan and like a normal, very normal environment, like you don't even speak English, right? Like, so that was my thinking. And the funny thing is that like I don't I remember it now. I remember it now, you know what I mean? Like when I look back, I'm like, oh my god, that was the way I was thinking at the time. Like how clever I was, how mature I was to have all of those thoughts, and be so focused and so ambitious. So I'm actually proud of myself. Like guys, I feel like this podcast is kind of becoming a therapy session for me. But anyway, like I'm trying to explain why I'm starting this podcast, right? So now, when I was in this sort of like weird place after graduation, when I kind of achieved everything I dreamt of at the point, like all of my like actual tangible plans, all of my actual tangible goals, I realized that, well, I guess I can do anything right now. And my childhood dream was actually be rich and famous. And now, like the funny thing is, guys, is like you should never give up on your dreams, because you never know which opportunities you will have in the future. Because when I was growing up, there was no like such a thing as social media, Instagram, TikTok, podcasting, right? Like you had to like the and like I didn't even know how to become the part of like the industry, or like to become a celebrity. Like in my mind, you had to not do like all the other stuff, studying, blah blah blah, and you had to do only like I don't know, singing, dancing, acting, and like give up everything else. And if you don't, you're not like a creative artistic person anymore. So, or at least like it will be hard. But like my parents and my mom especially, she was so smart, right? She was like, you don't know how the life is gonna be, but if you're gonna be there, like where, like for example, I wanted to be an actress, and she's like, okay, so where is the industry for acting? And I'm like, well, I guess it's like Hollywood or Europe, UK, right? She was like, okay, so you need to get there, right? And to get there, you should probably get a job there. And to get a job there, you should probably study there. And if you want to study there, you should probably study right now and focus on your academics, and obviously study like sciences and math. And guys, I love math very much. But like that's how my mom actually motivated me to continue studying, because at some point I wanted to I wasn't like really inspired by the school system, but it's a whole other story, guys. So I'm here now. So anyway, the point is that I'm here right now, and I accomplished everything, and I'm in a very good and stable place in my life, and I feel like I actually want to explore all of those things that I dreamt about and fantasized about, and now I actually have the opportunity to do that. So that is why I'm finally launching this podcast, because one of the biggest passions of my life, so apart from like a dream of being rich and famous, which is obviously coming, guys, one of the biggest passion of my life is talking and like discussing stuff and giving my opinions on stuff. um, and like interviews was and is one of my favorite genres. I feel like it was even before it became mainstream. So I mainstream in a way that like everyone now is an interviewer, but like I loved interview genre like way before, and this was my sort of calming activity when I didn't know what to do. I just would turn on like random interviews like in different languages and listen to them and love it so much. But I love to talk, um, and I love to share like my experiences. And I feel like at this point, it sounds like on one hand I accomplished, like on one hand I'm still such a beginner in many ways. Like I feel like yeah, I'm starting this journey, right? Like podcasting and career and I don't know, building life, building my brand, building my identity. But at the same time, like for so many people, I happen to be an example of accomplishing so many things, and I didn't even realize that until people started to reach out to me and ask for advice, like about career, about university, about life, about like juggling many things like social life, academics, even like appearance, um, lifestyle, fashion. Like, how do you do it all? Um, how do you manage your time? How do you prioritize? And people started to reach out and reach out, and I was just sharing my experiences. People seemed to like really enjoy it, and several of my friends actually told me that, you know what, like I feel like you have to start sharing your thoughts with a wider audience because you have a lot to say. And I'm like, really, are you sure? I don't know, I feel like such a starter in many ways, but actually I do have a lot of things to share, and hopefully I'll bring you along on this journey, and we will talk and discuss a lot of things, and you will ask me stuff and like just my opinions and stuff, like in a very friendly manner, obviously, because I think that no one knows best what is the best for you except for yourself. But sometimes it's nice to have sort of like outsider view on things. So I need to probably create like an email address. Guys, maybe I'm like looking too many steps ahead right now, but yeah, I think that's where we will end up with all of you, and like we will create a nice community. Honestly, like my dream is that, like, even though I love London so much, like honestly it's probably the best city or one of the best cities in the world, but also it's a very big city, right? And once you know, you leave university, you start to work, it's weird out there, because suddenly like you don't have your like bunch of people who you see every day and sort of you all do the same thing, and you don't have the sense of community anymore. And you suddenly like you can do, like at one point it's so amazing because you just realize that the world is so big and so wild, and like there are so many opportunities, especially if you live in the big city. There's so many things that you can do, but also it can be kind of lonely because you just crave this sense of companionship. You just crave this like random deep conversations that happen and friendship that develop organically. But like now is everyone is so busy, and also like we all work remotely, so like it's not like it's a different environment right now. So honestly with this, and like I love feel like I love communities. I love a feeling that we all sort of on the same page and like in it together. So hopefully this podcast will lead to creating this sort of community where we can actually share our thoughts authentically and just have fun and be unfiltered. And I stopped saying so much because I feel like when I'm gonna listen to it again, it's gonna drive me crazy. But anyway, so that's the purpose, that's the goal. So it was a long introduction. Okay, so let's move on to the first sort of topic that I want to talk about. I want to talk about Fashion Week and my love for fashion, my passion for fashion. So, Fashion Week is coming to London. It starts on, I believe, 16th or 17th, basically this week. And I'm actually going to 4 Fashion Week shows slash events, which is so exciting, and I hopefully can make them all, even though like I'm so busy. I also have like other parties to attend, like a Valentine's Day party and also like a dance party with my friends, and I can never meet them because I love to dance so much. And this weekend is going to be crazy, but I still want to make them all happen. And like it's crazy that I'm actually going to Fashion Week events, because I used to think that it's really unachievable. And let me tell you like a background, right? Like actually the first time I went to a fashion show was last year. So last year I attended two shows during the Fashion Week. You probably think when I'm telling you about that, you would probably think, oh, are you like an influencer or do you have connections? And my answer is no. I I want to be an influencer. I want to influence people, obviously, but I'm not an influencer, so I don't have a lot of followers on none of my social media accounts. And I didn't really know anyone in the fashion world until I came to this event and like started to talk to people there and like made some great friends. But no, last year I knew nothing about the fashion world. Um, and I had like no connection in it. But what I have is shamelessness and also research skills. And both of those qualities are things that will help you to achieve whatever you want in life. So I'm telling you how I did it. So basically I realized that Fashion Week is happening and I didn't even know like the exact dates. I just knew that it happens sometime in autumn, right? So I knew it happens sometimes in autumn, and I'm like, I think that Fashion Week is coming, right? And I was talking to my friend, and she also loves fashion, and I just always ask her to come with me to the event, and she's always down. That's why I love her so much. So what did I do? I just went to the London Fashion Week website, and apparently they publish this PDF file with all the events, like accredited events of the London Fashion Week. And a lot of those, like most of those events, they're invite only, you can't get to them, but there are events where you can just RSVP and like get an invite, right? Obviously, usually people who RSVP to those kind of stuff, they're not like they're not random people. They're part of fashion world, so they're usually press or again like influencers who have some sort of following and can offer their services, or like I don't know, like some just like people who mean something in the fashion world. Obviously I mean something in other worlds, but not in the fashion world. In the fashion world, I'm currently nothing. And last year I was also nothing, so not a big change in that. But again, shamelessness and research skills and also ability, like a good writing skills. So I just decided to email all those people, and I just told them that, you see, this is me, my name is blah blah blah, I work in that company, but I'm also like interested in fashion and possibly thinking about creating a fashion society in my very serious firm. So I told them that, so it would be lovely to be able to attend your event, right? So this was that, and I emailed a bunch of people, and I had no replies at all. Some of them asked them like, "Are you an influencer or are you like part of press?" And I said, "No." They said, "I'm sorry, like we can't invite you." So most of the replies were, "No, no, 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 no. I'm sorry, so sorry. We are so full. Blah blah blah." Like, bye, goodbye, right? But I actually got one invite to Knock Knock Fashion. So it wasn't like a catwalk, it was a collection preview slash party. So it was at Knock Knock London. So it was the first show that I attended and it was cool. But then even cooler thing happened. So, okay, please don't take it the wrong way, but like you never know how the universe will act. That's why you always have to take a chance, and then whatever happens happens. So as you remember, last year our dear Queen Elizabeth II passed away. God bless her soul. And it was a very sad and stressful time in the country's life. And I actually went to Kew to see um, the Queen in Waiting, but it's another story if you guys want to hear about that one day. But the thing is that it was during the fashion week, and most of the events were cancelled. And it was not good because, as you know, like fashion people who come to London, like all those weeks they go right one after another. So like New York Fashion Week, London, then Milan, Paris, whatever. Paris. So obviously, like all of those people couldn't stay. Like, so many of the brands they had to cancel their events due to the circumstances because all mass events were being cancelled. But obviously, people in the industry they couldn't wait. Like they were postponed, but like all those people couldn't wait because they had their trips to Milan and Paris planned before. So it meant that some spots were open, and I actually got an invite to a proper catwalk like runway show last year um because of the circumstances. So me and my friends we ended up being invited to this fashion show in how is it called, the Burlington Arcade. Let me just check. Yeah, so it was a fashion show in Burlington Arcade, and it was a Max Hosa um runway show. And guys, and the only I believe, and like I think that's pretty obvious, that the only reason why me and my friend ended up being invited is because like they probably had just open spots because of they had to like postpone the event. But we were very happy to be invited, guys. So um and this is the topic, like you'd never know how the life will turn out, because I applied, I RSVP to all those shows even though like I had no hope that, and no reason to be there, right? Like they had no reason to invite me. Like I'm nothing for them. Um and I really like, usually you can like provide some sort of value to people, but like I could provide no value. Like I have a master's degree, like is it gonna help you? Do you want me to like take care of your accounts? Probably not, even though like math is very helpful in many other areas. But anyway, I got invited, and me and my friend got invited to this event, and I was so excited. And guys, I wore this fabulous fur coat that I have, but like last year I didn't have a chance to wear it too often, but I wore it for my fashion show. I looked amazing. I felt amazing, and also it was the same day that I had an alumni like catch up event, and it was an intense day. But like anyway, so we got invited to the show, and let me tell you how it went. Right, so I dressed up gorgeously, loved it. My friend came, um, and first of all, it wasn't like, the admin part was a little bit off because It actually started almost like hour or 2 hours later than we were invited to. So I think we were invited for 9 and it almost started at 11, if I remember correctly. So it was so weird and it was just a huge number. Like it was a crowd, it was so crowded. And then they started to let people in bunches, right? And people started to like push each other, which was wild. And I really don't know, like, is it a typical thing, like guys who actually go to this event on a regular basis, like tell me, is it a regular thing? Because people were just pushing each other to get there. And at some point, me and my friends were so disappointed that we were almost like, if you don't get in, let's just leave. Like, I think it's awful, like, why it's so badly organized, right? So we were not very much impressed. But then we ended up getting in because my friend she is as shameless, like even more shameless than I am. So she's so good in getting like through the queues and getting to the best spot, and like that's why I love to go to events with her. Maybe I'll invite her to the podcast and we'll discuss something. But anyway, so thankful thanks to the amazing like life skills of my friend, we got in. And guys, this was so amazing. Like it was so gorgeous there. Um, so beautiful. So many beautiful people in one place, guys. It's like, oh, it's like everyone looked so good. Everyone was so gorgeous. Everyone was so well dressed. And guys, I live in London. Like you see lots of beautiful people here. You get used to that. But this, it was like magazine level, Instagram level fabulousness. And like that's how they look IRL, like that's how they look in real life. They're not photoshopped, they're real people. I was so shocked and so impressed, and it was just so gorgeous and fabulous, and everything that I imagined, right? Like the blitz, the glam, the energy. And the most important thing that everyone had the resting beach face, guys. Everyone has a resting beach face. So I'm a very smiley person. You shouldn't, I guess you shouldn't smile if you're like cool. You have to have this face. Oh, also everyone was wearing like sunglasses inside. Which is, it just was so wild for me, but like it made them look so cool. Like all those people, and I don't think they were even celebrities. I think they were just like people with cool vibes, because like I don't think any of them were actually famous. Um, but it didn't matter. They behaved as if they're the biggest superstars in this world, and I was like, oh my god, I love this attitude. Like, I have to channel this I don't give an F, I'm the biggest superstar here energy, and just, flow my life flow through my life with this energy, because guys, it's giving. Like there is a reason why everyone is how to say, entranced, charmed by this like fashion world, because people there just feel, I think, like because you look amazing you feel amazing, or maybe because you feel amazing if you look amazing. Like it's not even like the way you dressed, but the way you carry yourself, right? So it's like, yeah, I'm great. I'm the superstar. So, you want to ask me something? Goodbye. So this was this sort of energy, and I honestly, guys, I loved it so much. But also, I felt weird because I'm a very smiley person, and the first thing that you learn when you come to the UK, especially from a country like from a post-Soviet country like Kazakhstan, is you learn how to smile. Well, actually, I was a smiley person before, so even in Kazakhstan, I feel like I was more smiley than the rest. I was pretty famous for like my beautiful smile. So, but like in the UK, it's a whole another level, right? Because like you even smile when you just like accidentally look at a person on the street. Like you have to smile to show that you I don't know, not threatening or just a nice person. But like in these fashion events, guys, like you don't smile. You just hmm, hmm. I'm not talking about the models, guys. I'm talking about the guests. Like the guests who are not celebrities, but like just fashionable people there. And they just know how to control their face. So, and I was there, I was so smiling. And I just enjoy the situation, right? Like, I just want to look at everyone and just show, like, oh my god, like, I love your outfit, blah, blah, blah. But everyone is just so cool, and like, not responding to my energy. But actually, no, actually, I ended up meeting people who responded and vibed with me, and it was fine. So, but anyway, so I saw that, wow, it's weird. So like everyone has kind of different vibe, and I thought for a second, look, should I like try to be more composed, to keep my composure? But then I said, you know what, like it's never, like it's always the most original thing you can be is be yourself, and the best thing is to be different, right? So in a room full of like sad people, be smiling. Not sad, not sad. In a room full of like calm people, be smiley, and in a room of smiley people, be like more composed, I guess. And that's how you you're gonna stand out. Life trick. Anyway, so that's amazing, right? So it's not even the most important part. The most important part is that like energy was wonderful, and I feel like everyone was just like so happy to be there, and like felt so amazing. So that's the thing, right? It was a room full of people who just were feeling themselves, you know, like they were vibing. They were just, you know, their energy levels were like so high, but like in a very cool, not in like hyped way, but in a like cool way. They just enjoyed themselves. They knew that they were amazing. They knew that the show is amazing. That they knew that environment is amazing, and like this whole show was freaking amazing. So that was such an amazing experience just to be there. Just oh, and also people were like bringing champagne, and we met a cute waiter, and we asked him because like I don't drink and my friend didn't drink as well. So we asked for water, and um yeah, we asked this cute waiter to bring us water, so he brought it to us like kind of undercover because he said that so they only serve champagne, right? They didn't serve any like soft drinks. So but like a lot of people there wanted a soft drink or just like glass of water, so he actually had to bring it to us like undercover. Like he was hiding like this cute little water bottle of water, and he brought it to us, and it was so cute. And he said like, please just don't tell anyone that I brought it to you, because like then everyone will ask and like we don't have it. Like thank you. So like it just was so cute, and cheered us up, and like made us smile, improve the mood. So anyway, this was the vibe there, and then the show started, um and the whole show was just so gorgeous, and like the models, oh my god, guys. So when I saw the models in magazines before, I thought that they're all photoshopped. Like they look gorgeous, right? Like, but I just obviously like there's the effect, but like it's a magazine, so or like it's Instagram post, so obviously there's a certain lighting, certain like angle. But guys, they look as amazing in real life as well. Like they look so amazing. They're actually like walking pictures. I was like, oh my god, like, and every each of them, like, it was a show of the most beautiful people, and guys, I like to go to museums and galleries, but it was better than a museum and a gallery because like it was real life. It was a show of like most beautiful, like lean, long people with perfect skin, perfect bodies, perfect postures, perfect faces, like each of them was so gorgeous, so beautiful. I was like, wow. And I was like, oh my god. And like I now understand because models date models, because like so many hot people in one place, and like men are so hot as well. Anyway, they looked amazing, and the outfit was amazing. So it was the theme was, I think, like Africa inspired outfits, if I remember correctly. So it was just gorgeous and beautiful, and I just realized that you like I love fashion so much. I like to dress up so much, but I've always sort of been like, when you're not part of the fashion world, you're just a person who likes to dress up and like whatever. But when you're there are like so many people who just get it, who are just on the same, like they have the same mindset, they have the same interest, and it's always just nice to be surrounded by people who appreciate the same things and like see the world the same way you see it, uh, and just appreciate the beauty of clothes and presenting yourself in a certain way. So it was really nice. Um, so yeah, then the fashion show ended and we left and we were in such great spirits, and I think we went to party afterwards. We definitely went to party afterwards. Um, but this was my first experience of attending the shows, and I loved it so much. And obviously, I wanted to attend this year as well. But I'm still yet not an influencer, not an important person in the industry, but I'm still as shameless and even more goal oriented. So I started to RSVP this year as well, and actually I got like four four invites for the show. I ended up with 4 invites. So for the 2 parties, I was invited due to RSVP. But the cool thing is that I was invited to 2 shows, like separately. I didn't really apply for them, but I was invited for them separately because I think that I was still on their mailing list, probably. And I think they kept my email and they invited me to those shows. So I'm super excited to go now. Mm, and yeah, that's how it works, guys. So like, even though I wasn't invited to many shows last year, like those people, whoever is responsible for sending out invitations, they had my email, they had my contact, they had the way to like contact me, they haven't had an access to me. So they ended up inviting me to these shows, and I'm going to collection preview, like I'm planning to, on Thursday. Then I'm going to 2 shows on Saturday, and I'm also going to a Montclair party on. I'm going to one designer party next week. I also invited my friends to join, so hopefully I will be able to make them all and wear some really cool outfits, do cool makeup. Look, like I already did my fashion week nails. I did myself, guys. So I'm so ready, so excited. And I guess I'm gonna wrap up this first episode at this point. So next time when I record the podcast, I will share my experience like from this year fashion show, and what I think and what I did and what fun have like what just happened there. Hopefully I will make more friends and meet new people, and maybe like there are gonna be other opportunities in front of me, because I just love exploring this new world for me. And I just want to have fun. I feel like this is the best time in life to just have fun and try things and risk and explore. And I'm really focused on doing that. So yeah, stay tuned for Fashion Week event, post Fashion Week episode. But also for this podcast, right? So I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. I really hope that you listen till the end. And I have so many ideas and so many topics that I want to talk about because I tried acting. I took a directing class. I what else did I do? I went to the Ascot, the Royal Ascot last year. So I want to tell you about this experience. I also want to talk about just my journey, education, career, like whatever is happening, motivation, life hacks, life skills, mindset, like all of those topics. Like what are you interested in? Like feel free to share, feel free to DM me on Instagram. I'm going to share my like socials and handles. And what else? And also I'm hope that like along this journey, I'm going to invite my friends and people just that I know and happen to meet on this crazy journey of life, because like I meet so many amazing people and like I love them all so much, and I feel like all of them have something to share. They all have like different experiences, um, and I want you to know them, and I want to introduce them, and I want just to, tell the story of their lives through this podcast, and just show you how big this world is and how amazing it is, and how fun it is. So stay tuned. I will probably, like, if you're my friend and you're listening to this podcast, there is a chance that I'm gonna reach out to you. So yeah, and if you want to be here, like if you want to record something with me, like reach out to me. um I'm usually down, like 99% I will be down for that. But anyway, like whoever you are, wherever you are, thank you for being here with me, and have a great rest of the day or whatever it is. Bye bye.